I'd like to welcome on the FHTV for the first time last weekend's Burdekin Enduro champion, Krog. How are you, mate?
Toby, I'm good, mate. I've got this real stupid grin on my face that I haven't been able to shake.
Once again, a huge congratulations on your massive win at Burdekin on Sunday. It was a huge moment for you and the team, mate.
Yeah, it was. Crossing the line in P1 is uncharted territory for us. We crossed the finish line and I just sat there and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that all the wheels were still attached and we weren't stuck in the trees somewhere. And my missus came over, Amy came over, and she said, "Now look what you've done." And I said, "Yeah, you're going to have to wear the little red number tonight because we are celebrating."
How good's that? Tell us a bit about your weekend. It looked like a pretty clean, trouble-free run for you and Steve Orr, mate, in the Razorback.
It was, man. It was one of those dream weekends. We had no major issues with the car, maybe a few little adjustments here and there. On Saturday, we went out and it was a little bit rowdy on the whoops. So I had a chat with Clado because Clayton Chapman's been helping us in the background there, helping us with some suspension tuning, and he gave me some advice and suggestions. We made a few changes and we managed to tone it down a bit on the whoops on Sunday. But just a fantastic little event, and the car went well, and that little motor that Keith has built for us at Speedline Race Engines is just performing so well. It just delivers bulk torque, and also with myself being able to trust the car more as well and what its abilities and limitations are, and understanding all of that, and then slowly things start falling into place. It takes a long time to get a reliable car that finishes well. Mm-hmm. And then only once you're finishing races can you start working on your speed. And I think this last weekend we were focusing on simple little things like corner speed and car placement in the corner and things like that. And we were getting it right most of the time. And the evidence was there in the end,
And what a great first event to win for you and the team. Black Betty Offroad Racing. I know how much you love heading up north to North Queensland. You're a massive supporter of Burdekin. You've raced at Moranbah a lot over the years, also the Don River Dash, whereas your real first big breakthrough, you finished third outright there in your first year in 2021. Yeah, it must be a special place, beautiful part of the world, and to have some of your off-road heroes, Michael Marson and Talbot Cox, watching on, it's a special win, mate.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of it is proving it to yourself that you actually can go out there and give it a crack and do it and get it over the line. And a lot of those races, so much of it is all based on preparation. And, you get the prep right, and then the car goes well on the weekend, but then you might make an error. So then you sort of work through these things. You dig a little deeper and ask for forgiveness, and you go again. So yeah, what a journey, hey? What a journey it's been.
And there was some big names up there. There was a lot of later entries. We did a FHTV preview leading into the Burdekin Enduro. I know there was Talbot Cox and the late young Kai Camilleri. Man, he's a young star. Also had Brad Belcher was in the field, James Sants, always fast defending champion. So there was a lot of cars that were right in the mix.
Definitely. There wasn't a large field of competitors, but those guys that you've mentioned there, those are all front-running really competitive teams, and to try and mix it up with those guys, man, it was magic, and especially young Kai Camilleri, he's going through a bit of a rough patch at the moment, but when he gets that thing dialed in, we're going to have a fat time trying to stick with that little guy.
And the conditions on the weekend, you just told me before, they got quite rough in places, definitely over the 2 days, but that's sort of played into your favour as well. You like when it gets a bit rougher out there?
Yeah, for sure. The holes got deeper and the rocks got more and more exposed. And as I tend to get faster in the weekend, it does tend to get a little bit rougher. That track is no different to most others. But just the varied terrain is awesome. And the probably the socializing after the event and hanging out with the boys and listening to everybody's war stories. That's what makes off-road racing awesome,
I know you're a very fair competitor, mate. It must have been tough for you. I know how good of friends you are with Tony Falaba, and he's been instrumental in your off-road career. But Back-to-back years now, he's led overnight, and you're passing with about 15 kilometres left in the event on Sunday morning.
Tony is a good mate of mine, and over the years, he's actually been a navvy in our car as well. Mm-hmm. So I've been able to sit with him and have him in my ear, and I know that he's got a really good ability to read the dirt and plot corners. So I knew that when we were lining up behind him, it was going to be really tough, and I'd have our work cut out, because he's a balls out kind of competitor. You know, if he's not going around you, as I've seen, he's going over you. So
yeah.
So to see him there pulled up on the side of the track on Sunday was an absolute bummer, because I would have preferred to have got a win over him on a time-based factor, not a mechanical failure for sure.
But the event itself, Burdekin Off-Roaders Incorporated, mate, give them a wrap. They put on, it's a fantastic facility up there. One of those events I think everyone needs to get up to.
100%, you know, most of that Burdekin event is held on Talbot's land with a couple of the adjoining properties. And what's really unique about that spot is that you can camp trackside, and the start line, you get to apply moderate amounts of horsepower to the beautiful grass that's been laid out down the length of that rifle range. And within a few kilometers, you go up the side of that Mount Kelly, and that's like 600 foot above sea level, which is a serious climb. And while you're traveling up that side of the pass, when the car does a turn and it throws all the sand and stones and debris out, you're throwing it dirt over the top of the trees, which are on the side of the pass, and then you're ripping down the other side into these big open cut quarries. There's whoop sections, there's double jumps off ledges, climbing over boulders. It's got everything in one venue, and a beautiful time of the year to be up in North Queensland in May. It's 24 degrees all day, all night. It's magical. It's a fantastic spot to be in, for sure.
Yeah, definitely on my radar over the next couple of years. You have a lot of people in your corner. Craig, who would you like to thank, mate, helping you achieve this great result?
Man, there's a few guys that come to mind, but definitely right at the top there would be my wife, Amy, and the two kids that have been really supportive to us. And then Luke Van Zutphen and Lee Rodwell from Hinterland Automotive, just really been there for all the events, and they travel down for buggy night every Wednesday night and give us a hand. And then you've got the rest of the guys, Clado from Progressive Motorsport, and Keith from Speedline Race Engines, Rob Johnson from Mickey Thompson Tires Australia. Those guys all sort of helping there in the background, which is awesome. And then other mates of mine that get involved with Chris Wells from the Ranch Metalworks, and just all those people collaborating together and helping us and putting it all together is just awesome. And then, on this last weekend, we had our navigator, Steve, who just did a magic job. He did really, really well. And previously to that, my other navigator, Dean, who was unable to make it. All these little contributions from all these different little personalities helps us get to the event. But then when you're at the event, it's the same thing. You meet all these other new people from all these other teams. So it's a real magic environment. Hey?
Perfect, mate. And your son also, Cameron, has been competing across Queensland in the Future Champions class over the past couple of years. That must be very cool being out there alongside him, and a completely new experience.
Man, to get into a car next to a future champion, your son, is actually terrifying. Because the little bloke, we have stages when we're ripping through the gum trees, and we're going down the road, and I'm looking at the direction that we're going through the side window, and we're doing 105, and I say into my mic, "Hey, Camo, have you got this, boy?" And I just hear in my ear, he just crackles, "Yes, Dad." I thought, bloody hell, this is wild.
That'd be right.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. It's really, it's magic. It's good, and it's great for the family as well. It brings everyone together.
Yeah,
for sure.
Awesome stuff. I'm sure we'll see Cameron across the season in the Queensland scene. What's the plans for the rest of 2026, mate? You're heading out to Moles in a couple of weeks. I know the Gundy 500 and the Don River Dash will be on your radar as well.
100%. Yeah, we're focusing on the long courses through the Queensland Championship this year. We just find that the long courses suits our type of car, and with my type of driving, I can't turn on the speed straight away. I need to try and build into it, and that's something I'm working on myself to try and improve. So the short courses, I sort of get a bit hamstrung there. So yeah, definitely the long courses, miles, we're looking forward to that. That's just in a couple of weeks away. So yeah, we're going to get ourselves ready to boogie, for sure.
Before we go tonight, mate, I'm always interested in how people get into our great sport of off-road racing. You have told me your story a couple of times before, but I know plenty of our viewers would like to know a bit more about Craig Krog and how you got involved in off-road racing.
So background of dirt bikes, not so much motocross, more enduro riding. And as the knees started caving out, I started looking at the off-road racing scene and convinced my family and all my mates to come along to Land Cruiser Mountain Park to watch the final round of the short courses, which was back in 2020. And set up the deck chairs and got everybody prepared to watch and see if this was something for us. And Clayton came past with that Razorback hissing and sneezing and spluttering and making all sorts of weird noises. And I thought, man, that's me. I'm sold. I'm done. Need one of those. That's where we go. Yeah, and that was it. And my wife felt strongly that that was definitely a wise family choice. And here we are.
Here we are, taking our wins. Anyway, mate, thanks for joining me on Frog Solo TV. Always a pleasure talking to you, Craig. Congratulations again on your huge win up at Burdekin on the weekend. Good luck out at Miles and for the rest of 2026.
Magic, Toby. Awesome. Thank you for the chat, and you take care and travel safe.
No worries. There he is, our Burdekin Enduro champion, Craig Krog.